Welcome back. In the last few lessons, we hired workers at a given wage. Now we turn the problem around. We have a fixed number of workers, and we must decide where to put them. Here's the new question. Before, we asked, at a given wage, how many workers should the firm hire? Now the producer has a fixed number of workers and 2 places to use them. The question is where each worker should go. Our producer owns 2 wheat fields. Call them A and B. Wheat sells for 10 shekels a kilo. Each field has its own production function, and therefore its own value of marginal product schedule. Here is field A. The first worker's value of marginal product is 5,000 shekels, the second 3,000, the third 2,000. Then it collapses. The fourth worker is worth only 200, the fifth just 50. And here is field B. The first worker is worth 1,000 shekels, the second 500, the third 300, the fourth 200, the fifth 50. Field B starts lower but also diminishes. Now suppose the producer has only a limited number of workers to place. We can't fully staff both fields. We have to choose, for each worker, the field where they do the most good. The allocation rule is beautifully simple. Send each next worker to whichever field has the highest value of marginal product at that moment. Keep going until you run out of workers. Why does this work? Every worker should be placed where they add the most value. If a worker would add more in the other field, you'd move them there. So in the best plan, no further move can help. To apply the rule, we list every possible worker slot from both fields together and put them in order of value, highest first. Here's that ranking. Field A's first worker at 5,000, its second at 3,000, its third at 2,000. Then Field B's first worker at 1,000, its second at 500, its third at 300. Let's say the producer has 5 workers. We place them one at a time, each time grabbing the highest remaining value on the list. Worker 1 goes to Field A. The single best slot anywhere is Field A's first worker, worth 5,000 shekels. Field A now has 1 worker, Field B none. Workers 2 and 3 also go to Field A. The next highest values are Field A's second worker at 3,000 and its third at 2,000. Field A now has 3 workers, Field B still none. Now we reach an interesting point. Field A's fourth worker would add only 200 shekels, but Field B's first worker would add 1,000. So the next worker should not go to Field A. Worker 4 goes to Field B. Its first worker is worth 1,000 shekels, far more than Field A's fourth worker. Field A has 3. Field B now has 1. Worker 5 also goes to Field B. The best remaining slot is Field B's second worker at 500, which still beats Field A's fourth at 200. Field A 3, Field B 2. So with 5 workers, the best allocation is 3 workers in Field A and 2 in Field B. This arrangement squeezes the most value out of those 5 workers. Let's add up the value. 5,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,000 plus 500 equals 11,500 shekels. No other way of splitting 5 workers beats this total. And we know it's the best, because at every step we deliberately took the most valuable slot still available. There's nothing better left on the table. Let's double check with a swap. What if we moved a worker from Field A's third slot to Field B's third slot? We'd lose 2,000 and gain only 300, a net loss of 1,700 shekels. So of course we don't. This is the key idea. At the best plan, you cannot raise total value by shifting a worker from one field to the other. The value of the last worker in each used field is as balanced as it can be. Contrast this with the wage method from lesson 7.5. There, a wage set the cutoff, and we hired everyone whose value cleared it. Here the number of workers is fixed, so instead we rank the slots and fill from the top. Let's try a bigger pool, 6 workers instead of 5. We simply take the top 6 slots. The 6th one is Field B's third worker, worth 300 shekels. Now the allocation is 3 workers in Field A and 3 in Field B. The total value rises to 11,800. And notice, the very next slots after this are worth only 200 each. Look at the marginal worker in each field. With 6 workers, the last worker placed in Field A and the last in Field B are worth a similar amount, somewhere around 200 to 300 shekels. That balance is the sign of a good allocation. This is the equal marginal value principle. Allocate a fixed resource so that its marginal value is roughly equal across all of its uses. Here the resource is workers, and the uses are the two fields. So the rule, restated, always give the next worker to wherever they add the most value. Stop when you run out of workers, or, if there's a wage instead, when the value drops below that wage. Why does this matter? This is exactly how a limited workforce spreads across competing uses, whether fields, factories, or entire industries, to get the most out of scarce labor. And here's the common mistake to avoid. Don't fill one field completely before touching the other. Interleave by value of marginal product. A strong first worker in field B beats a weak fourth worker in field A. We've found where the workers should go. Now let's turn that allocation into a profit figure using the 6-worker plan. 3 workers in field A and 3 in field B. Start with field A. 3 workers there produce 500 plus 300 plus 200, which is 1,000 kilos of wheat. At 10 shekels a kilo, that brings in revenue of 10,000 shekels. Now field B. Its 3 workers produce 100 plus 50 plus 30, which is 180 kilos. At 10 shekels a kilo, that's revenue of 1,800 shekels. Add the two fields together. 10,000 plus 1,800 gives total revenue of 11,800 shekels. And notice, that is exactly the total value we got earlier by summing the ranked slots. The two methods agree. Now subtract the cost of labor. We employ 6 workers in total, each paid a wage of 300 shekels. That's 6 times 300, or 1,800 shekels in wages. So the producer's profit is 11,800 minus 1,800, which leaves 10,000 shekels. Allocate the workers well first, and the maximum profit simply follows. And step back to see the big picture. A farmer splitting workers between fields, a company staffing competing projects, even a country directing its workforce, all face this very same ranking problem. Take your scarce labor and send it wherever it is worth the most. Let's summarize. With a fixed number of workers, rank every slot by value of marginal product, then fill from the top down. 5 workers gives 3 in A and 2 in B, worth 11,500. 6 gives 3 in 3, worth 11,800. And at the optimum, the marginal value is balanced across the fields. The one line to remember: send each scarce worker to wherever their value of marginal product is highest. If this lesson helped, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share it with someone who's studying economics. And to keep getting extra materials, join our members club, where you'll find the full quiz library, fully worked solutions, and more practice questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.